This is Firebird, Graywolf reporting from American Indian Independent Broadcasting Network. I am at Battery Park at the celebration of the two-road 400-year anniversary. I met a new friend, and he is from the Netherlands. He also shared in the celebration of rowing. He has been supporting Native American indigenous rights for over 20 years. Hi, hon, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you.
All right, can you tell the audience your name?
My name is Leo van der Vliest.
Okay, Leo. Leo, can you tell me how you got involved with the two-row and your history honoring the indigenous people of Turtle Island, which is America?
Okay, well, when I finished my law studies back in the 80s, I asked myself one question, which was, how did international law justify the taking of the land of the Native American people? And I ended up writing my thesis on indigenous peoples and the right to self-determination, and I found out that international law does not recognize this self-determination, whereas I concluded that indigenous peoples do have this right. So that's when I decided to join a Dutch non-governmental organization working to support indigenous people's rights, which was in 1990, and ever since I have been working on helping indigenous peoples to get the UN to accept the Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, which happened in the year 2007. And now my focus is on the implementation of this declaration.
Oh, that's wonderful. You're truly dedicated. How did you get involved with the two-row as far as rowing?
Through my work at the UN, I met also people from the Haudenosaunee nations, and in 2009 the Dutch government celebrated the Henry Hudson Year, which was to commemorate 400 years of Henry Hudson sailing on the Hudson River under a Dutch flag. Unfortunately, they did not include any attention for Native Americans in their program, which is why we hosted the Native American Film Festival in Amsterdam and invited some Haudenosaunee people to speak. And they gently but firmly reminded us of the two-row wampum. And so this year, in 2013, when they are celebrating the two-row wampum, I had to be involved, and I decided to come with my family to New York to participate in the rowing, which we did.
Oh, that's wonderful news. What are your plans to do to support in the future? Do you have any plans, other projects?
Our support in the Netherlands has been to encourage the Dutch government to pay respect to the two-row, which happened actually yesterday because the Dutch Consul General was there when we arrived at Pier 96 in New York. And we will also host a ceremony on 13th of September in the Netherlands, and we will dedicate the ceremony to the two-row wampum. And my ongoing work will be to support the implementation of the Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, where it connects particularly with the Dutch economy, which is importing palm oil from Indonesia and soy from Brazil, which has a lot of impact on indigenous peoples.
Thank you very much. Do you have a website?
Yeah, it's www.indigenouspeoples.nl.
All right, I will look for that. And thank you so much, Leo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much
Right
for
from the
coming to our
site, we
festival.
put our water in, or put our canoes in. We brought this all the way to mix in with the Hudson, and we're going to keep on going, go over to the ocean, and mix it in with the ocean water, and bring this, holler this out to the world. But here in front of you, the paddlers that help make this happen. Can you give it up for these guys? Yeah.
I'd like to announce Chief Tanadaho Sid Hill. Paddlers can take your seats.
Kada hun si yosta kan jokpa. Ai ha sungwai disa sa ni yung goi hotan. Ai de ha de do ni yung goi te ke skada ne ne on de. Na go and what yata ne kana hanyo. Di ne na wata go ne kai pata ta han ne kana hanyo. And da na go ya. 21 do de 21 takes that in scanner ai to na do ni hek. Da na go ya. Di yung goi te ke un go yo si ne to na skada with going what ni go ha. Eat and what yata dan to tat na ha. Dana to the Natic Tongo Nico. Down the yacht to Howajada, the 19 ha, 18 Hancock. Tano here and Tosita Neo Eaton White again Hassa. Tana, the Ongwa hard and the Ongwa Nico stuck. And down I ate that they would have it fire soon, but the water and the sat on the Sako with Honda. And down I did with what they know, yeah. Skada Hendo and Nico have, but the Tino have 18 ha, saw one jar, the Dana to the Natic Tongo Nico. Down there. What you Tino Hen, you're going to be hand down on it, some boy this topic. I scan on to an afternoon to now and Charge, don't go the way. I know we have one it, I know it. I am tossing I own it to Scott Guy, and Guy again Hustle, and they can joke away. And down I did with what they know, yeah, Skada and do I what they go have with the Tino Hen, and I'll go with them hand down and it's my this down to the Congo. Down and sat the way, and I know Uncle you say your stuff with. I Uncle your toy and it, I get the twig nunny. I the whole win again, it's kind of odd to have done. I told her gone, it went up, and I told you way. And I didn't hear again, I didn't go, and I'll wait again, snowy or what got done. I said, no snowy or what got done, when you go, we say, I can't, I net the gun, the garden, stick against that, so one jar. And I did to do it on your ass on this kind of on it to the way. And on I did with what they know, yeah, started and why, want to go have with the Tino hand and sat the way. On it to the Dicton, want to go. Down it, we got a show boy, and I guess I go we got doing. I got we go.
alluded to before, and these women started beating them, and they didn't appreciate that, so they told those women to go make up their own style of dance. But the other origin comes from the Dakotas, and up there they call this dance the butterfly dance. And they say the origin goes back many years to when a butterfly lost her mate. She was feeling really down, didn't want to continue, so she went into a cocoon to mourn for her mate. And it's the story of this dance when she comes out of that cocoon. Because when she comes out of that cocoon, she spreads her wings very much the same way that Josie will spread her arms to show her shawl up, and she danced, and she floated in the air, and she wanted to show the Creator that she was ready to give life another chance. So this is the fancy shawl dance.
Commemoration of 400 years together, and we're very happy to be here. We're going to share some of our songs, and each of the lead singers will introduce their song. Yo.
So because we're grateful. The first song we're going to sing is called Our Precious Mothers. And this song is in honor of all the mothers, because we always want to see our kids happy. And on the second part of the song, it's about our Mother Earth, because she's trying so hard to continue to provide for us. Oh, my mother, I'm so sorry for the pain that you've been through. But now that I'm older and I'm wiser, I'm gonna take good care of you. I'm so sorry for the times that I didn't show respect, and I loved myself, and now this is what I promise upon your back. Yo-hi-yo, way out here. Yo-hi-yo, way out here. Yo-hi-yo, way out here. Yo-hi-yo, way out here. When I see a starlit night, I see the one that shines real bright. Then I think about your mother, and I hope that you're alright. I finally opened up my eyes, and I come to realize I appreciate your guidance, and I'm glad you're in my life. Yo-hi-yo, for the pain that you've been through. But now that we're older and we are wiser, we're gonna take good care of you. We're so sorry for the times that we did not show respect, and we allowed ourselves and others to pour our garbage on our turtle's back. We know that you are trying to continue to provide for all your children. You take care of your giant heart to help us survive. We are the we're the caretakers of the earth. We must take care of our life sustainers, the precious mothers who gave us birth. When I see a starlit night, I seek the one that shines real bright. Then I think of our precious mothers and I hope that they're alright. Okay, the next song we're going to share is a medicine song, and what we're thanking the medicines for continuing to help the people.
Yeah.
Okay, the Gold Barney is going to lead us on with all of the Six Nations names in Mohawk all put together, all of the Haudenosaunee, and saying that we'll stay united.
Waiting for me to kill it. Songs unique as snowflakes, I'm building avalanches. There's no time for me to wait. I'm so anxious to get established. Inspiration's a rare gift, I have to share it. My voice matters, I represent my people everywhere I go. Oneida Nation, born and raised on the smallest reservation. I'm a product of self-determination, with odds against my ancestors who stayed to protect these homelands. Yes, I got some big footsteps to follow. It's in my genes, I just can't give up tomorrow. I got nothing to prove, and I got everything to share, and the world's gonna hear it. I got nothing to prove and everything to share, so the world's gonna hear it, yo. From my people for surviving the American Holocaust. Yeah, you know that, right? We're all survivors, so let's celebrate life. That's why we're here, right? Hey, yo, for my people for surviving the American Holocaust, who took all the gunshots, fight for the cause, to take back what's rightfully ours. Leaders behind bars, ships and stripes to be stars. Our nations are defeated, we're so born and succeeding, and they see, so they try to strip sovereignty's meaning. Tears are down my cheeks, my heart's bleeding, just the consequences of industrialized society. Yeah, so what is life when the air that we breathe is seen as a commodity? Accustomed lifestyles of a dying breed. Nah, we are our own enemies. We can use our minds to create or destroy, contaminate or purify. Don't let the waters run dry. That's why we're here today, to celebrate 400 years of collaboration for all our nation and allies. Everything they're trying to take right in front of our faces, engraved in our DNA. Not that we were chosen, we were born this way. Sometimes we gotta sleep before we know what awakens, hidden from manifestations. Sometimes we gotta sleep before we know what awakens, hidden from our own manifestations. Our minds are playing tricks as if we didn't exist in this matrix or even co-created.
So this journey is a beginning, not an end, and we call on all of you to continue with us as we share this journey down the river of life. One of the pieces of that is this declaration of intent, which we have as a card here, which you can find over at the tent there, along with other information. We encourage you to consider signing it. It's a statement that commits us as individuals to live up to the two-road, to abide by this visionary agreement between our forebears, and to then work to get our governments to live up to it as well. So thank you all for the support of this. Please spread the word far and wide, and we'll continue this journey for justice and protecting Mother Earth, on whom all of our lives depend. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Andy. This next person I would like to introduce is Chief Orrin Lyons. And on a personal note, and it's my honor and my privilege to introduce him. He's almost like a father figure to me and to this community, and one of our sounding boards that we use as our elders. And it's my honor to introduce Chief Orrin Lyons.
Siguli, now haskan. I said hello, and they said, I asked them, I said, thank you for being well, and they said, yes, we are, thank you. That's a greeting. It's our greeting. Kind of indicates our style of thinking. This journey that just culminated, and here we are, finally, at the recognition of the brave and stalwart paddlers that came down, our white brothers from across the sea and now living here many generations. And we shook hands 400 years ago on this issue. We shook hands with the Dutch. They were adventuresome, very entrepreneurial people, as everyone knows. And they made their way to our Mohawk camp up on the river that flows in both directions. And at that time, they were asking for safe passage so they could trade, because they were very good at that. And they were first in our country. And our leader said at that time, well, you know, we've been watching you. We see that you're not going home any too soon. So perhaps we better talk about relationship. How shall we relate to one another? And then began the long discussion that took years in the involvement and so forth. But at that particular time, they began the discussion on this belt, this two-row. We made an agreement then. And they representing, you know, the Netherlands, the Kingdom of the Netherlands, the Dutch East Indies, that was their enterprise. And we said, how shall we greet one another? And they said, it would please us greatly if you call us Father, because it denotes great love between family. And our chiefs thought about that for a while, and they responded and said, yes, it does denote great love. And it is, of course, a great honor. However, there goes with it the duty to correct and chastise. And so we think that we should call one another brothers. And they agreed on that. And so today, even today, when our nation, the Haudenosaunee, writes a letter to the president or any other people in the world, we always begin our greetings with brother. And that comes from that agreement 400 years ago. We shook hands with these people, and we agreed that we would live in peace. That was the first principle. We would live in peace, and we would work together for good and welfare of our peoples. And we agreed that this should be a long-standing agreement. And they said, how long shall it be? And we agreed that would be as long as the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, as long as the waters run downhill and as long as the grass is green. And we agreed upon that. This morning the sun rose. Our elder brothers right here, our Cloud family being very kind to you right now, and the waters are still flowing, and the grass is very green. And they said further, how shall we know one another? How shall our children know your children in the future? And our leaders answered, you will know us by the way we dress. And this is a very important instruction to our people. Why you should be wearing the clothes that you wear. Because how will they know us if we're wearing a suit and tie? Our leaders saw way ahead. They saw the importance of the culture. They saw the importance of what you are and how you present yourself. And so today, we saw very brilliantly our people. We are here, yes we are, as well as the Dutch. And we were greeted. It was a very, very difficult journey. I really admire and I'm very proud of those paddlers. I saw a lot of gray heads out there. I saw a lot of very brave people taking on. This is nature out here. Hasn't changed one bit in 400 years, except maybe it's a little polluted. Maybe it's a lot polluted. But there it is. It's still flowing. And so I was so proud of those valiant paddlers. They stuck with it and they kept getting tougher and tougher. And the cooks, well. You can never say too much about the cooks. They are brilliant, and they were there. And there was buffalo meat. There was a lot of protein. And there were great stops. And there were great gatherings on the way down, and dignitaries from everywhere came. And it began to gather momentum. Our leaders 400 years ago saw this time. They saw this time. They knew we would be here. Looking forward, 7 generations from now, if we put our minds together, as we're saying here, we work together for common cause, our children will be continuing this discussion. That was the shaking hands there. And then we were met here at Pier 96 with the Consul General of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, Mr. and Mrs. DeVoe. Would you please stand? It was a great moment in history. It was history, and it will be that way. And so this is another element. You are, at this particular time, taking part in a historic moment. Your children will be talking about this for a long time. All of those paddlers and all of those people that didn't make that were wishing they went. Already they're wishing they went. But there'll be more. There'll be more. The purpose of this is the union of peace and friendship for the common good and for the commons, to protect the commons for the future. We really must understand and be strong and diligent in our protection of future people, future generations. We must work hard. We must sacrifice. We must be adults, and we must act like the parents that we are on behalf of our children. And the grandmothers and the grandfathers who are out there, you know what your work is, to instruct in the values that will carry us forward. There is no more powerful principle than peace. And peace is dynamic. Peace requires effort. Peace requires constant effort. It is light. It is the light. The dark forces, spiritual forces, just as powerful. And if you stand still, you lose. You move back. You can't stand still. So peace requires effort and constant diligence. Due diligence for those principles. The whole idea here, and so clearly thought out back then, was we require to work together, we require the common effort. Today's times are changing, as you well know. We're in climate change. It's not coming, it is here. It will continue to exacerbate. Our eldest brother, the sun, has now become dangerous. You have to be careful when you're out there. There are parts of this world where it is against the law to allow your children to be out there without a big hat and covered with sunscreen. That's our eldest brother. Now, we brought that about. And the question that we talked about yesterday at the United Nations, when they said, what is it? What is it that drives us? My question then, and my question to all of you, and the answer lies with you out there. I don't know the answer, but I know the question. And the question is, how do you instruct 7 billion people as to their relationship to the earth? Because only if they respect and understand that relationship will we, as a species, survive. And people talk about saving the world. This world doesn't need your help. It's not going anywhere. We may be going somewhere, but the world is here. And it will, in time, regenerate. It will clean these waters. It will come back to the peace and tranquility that was here before we were, because it has all the time in the world. You and me do not. We're mortal, and as my good friend passed on, John Mohawk said, great senator intellect. Well, as far as I can see, he said, we're still a biological experiment. And that, in fact, is the truth. There's no reason why we should be here. The only way we're going to survive here is to take our proper place within this great system and behave ourselves and share. We have to come back to sharing. It's not me anymore. It's we. It's not competition anymore. It's cooperation for our own children's welfare. At this particular time, we are expending our children's future, our grandchildren's. We're spending it. Carefreely, we're spending their future right now. Well, the leaders back then understood what they were saying, and we still have the message, and we still have the spirit. It's a wonderful spirit. Yesterday was a great day, I would say, for the people of the earth. It was a great day. From the morning that the sun rose until the sunset last night. And I'll tell you what, last night at 11 o'clock, I was one of the happiest guys anywhere, because I was over at a Jewish delicatessen on Houston. I was eating a hot pastrami sandwich that was that thick. And I was just happy. It was a good ending for a great day yesterday. And today is another day. And today we're right here. Today's the time for assessment, reassessment, shaking hands. It's taking the next step, because this is a step in a long journey ahead of us. And it's going to take all the due diligence, and it's going to take all of the spirit that you have, and the courage to stand in defense of the future, our future. And I thank you all so much for everything you've done so far. Done it.
Thank you, Oren Lyons, for that wonderful speech. I would like to introduce Chief Jake Edwards from the Onondaga Nation. And let me just say something brief about him before he comes up. He is one of our main supporters for this event, and he has been giving us moral support, and he's been helping us in any way he can. And I saw him working today on the phones on how to get some people home. So let's give him a really big hand when he comes up here.
Nevahaskenus Wagwegi. And again, guy wind up on got the ghost and I got when you can't with them once on the Onisi. The Odiati, I got to know how you know, and got when you can't do Quio, Nagamandade. Funny go Hyandas can't with them Wagi. You guys all understand what I said? It's how the Dutch felt when they first met us. I give a good greetings to all of you, and I'm thankful that you're all well enough to be here with us today, this good crowd that we have. That's what we told the Dutch too 400 years ago. And so we got a short time today and a long ways of history to explain. So a lot of it's going to be shortcut. You're going to be cut out on a lot of it, really, because it starts off over 1,000 years ago. You see our flags hanging up and about here, and our colors of our wampums and so forth. Prior to the unity of the Haudenosaunee, our people were roaming about the forest, fast and accurately attacking each other and enjoying it because we were good at it. And so we felt that by doing such activities that we were entertaining the Creator. And then a messenger came to us, Peacemaker, and he brought this powerful message that most of our people didn't want to accept it. So it took some encouragement. And when we did accept it, it became the unity of the Haudenosaunee. And to cut a whole lot, he just lost out on about 3 days of explaining the details of how this came about. That's how fast we got to cut this down, this 1,000 years of history. And so, as you see, you recognize the Haudenosaunee flag. That's our unity bell. And so after the Peacemaker brought his message to us and we all sat to listen and hear and learn of this great message, it was explained to us that it saddens our Creator very much to see bloodshed, to see the streams of blood coming off the hills. And it was explained in detail of emotion and feelings of why it must change. And that was easily accepted. And to replace what we know as the wartime of our young men and the strength and abilities that they maintain to this day, it was explained that the game of lacrosse is where the young men will use their energies and strengths and abilities and their good mind playing lacrosse to entertain the Creator. And so lacrosse came in as the Creator's game in our mind through that message, as a reminder of peace and goodness amongst us all as we walk about here on earth. And so as we were playing lacrosse, entertaining the Creator, our strength and energies growing and growing, the war wasn't in our minds anymore. And we hear it sometimes referred to as war's younger brother, the game of lacrosse, and that women shouldn't participate in either of it. And so I was talking about the flag here as we traveled around the world playing the game of lacrosse, sharing it with our people as we shared the abilities and the knowledge of surviving in the forest. Lacrosse has been spread across the world too. So as we were overseas playing lacrosse, all these world games, it was noticed that all the teams that were playing had their flags up. And people were asking, well, the Haudenosaunee, the Iroquois Nationals, where's your flag? Well, we didn't have a flag, and that's what they told them. The young man told them, he says, well, we know who we are. We come here to play lacrosse. So, well, yeah, that's good, but those people out there don't know who you are, and their flag represents them people. So the minds got together and they said, this is who we are, the Haudenosaunee. From the east is the Mohawk Nation, a little bit in is the Oneida Nation. To the center, Kanaktagueniok is the capital, is Onondaga Nation where the Tree of Peace is planted. Our younger brothers, a little bit further out to the west, Cayuquanga, the Cayuga Nation, and the keepers of the Western Door, the Seneca. And so this at that time became the flag of the Haudenosaunee. And you see that all over the place now, and the people know who we are. And so all of the protocols and procedures, ceremonies, songs and dances, ways of life, how to conduct yourself on Mother Earth to be peaceful and contentment is all in these beads, which we have in our possession at Onondaga. Over 1,000 years old. And so when we ran across, our brothers from the Eastern Door, the Mohawks, noticed the Europeans coming. The Gahuadenyus, the Jai Hagwadi, the river that flows both ways. Like Oren had mentioned, we had noticed that they were sticking around. And so in our Great Law of Peace, the message that we received, the unity here, the Great Law of Peace has instructions on it. Each nation has its own fire. And that you take an arrow from each nation representing the defense and ability to hunt. You take that arrow, any man can break that arrow. But if you took one arrow from each nation, from each council, and you bound it together with all the procedures, protocols, ways, laws, and everything that's included under the Great Law of Peace of unity, strength, and love, and caring, and respect, and honor, and bound all 5 arrows together, no man can break them. And so we shared this with these people. Over the years passing, we shared it again and again with them to remind them. After we come up with the Guswenta Agreement, which unifies both vessels. When you talk about, you heard today about how we dress, you can identify who we are by how we dress. How we dress is not only in the clothes that we wear, but it's the ceremonials, it's our cultures, it's our way of lives, that's our dress also. And so this agreement with the Dutch taking place signifies the 2 roads will travel down the river of life side by each, not interfering with each other, but yet enjoying the bounties of Mother Earth, the responsibilities of taking from the forest what you need and only what you need to survive, and be grateful for it at all times, each and every day, each and every gathering, like we heard today with the Ganuhanyo, that Tarataho had spoke the words before all else. And after each paragraph to translate it briefly again, each paragraph that we acknowledge, whether it's the people, Mother Earth, the medicines, the berries, the animals, the waters, the fish, and so forth, each one is concluded with that we kindly and respectfully put our minds together as one and give a great thanksgiving for what we were just talking about. And that goes on in each and every one of them. And you hear the people respond, so we let it be that way in our minds. This also was shared with the Dutch and with the Europeans. And then further on, as they come in more, these people came to Onondaga asking for the assistance of the Council of Chiefs, knowing how we conduct and governance our people. And so it was shared with them again, the Great Law of Peace. The Great Law of Peace, Gona, was explained over and over again, and now by this time there wasn't very much of a translation barrier, but that was still there, understanding. So these people were taken right by the hand and shown in the forest how to conduct themselves. And the governance of these people, which now, when we share the Great Law of Peace, if you look in the archives of American history or colonial history, you'll notice that the national bird was recognized was the turkey. The big turkey was sitting on as their national symbol because they respected that bird for feeding them when they were so hungry, and there were so many of them that they honored that bird until they were reminded of the Great Law of Peace, and they changed that to the eagle, because in our teachings of the Great Law of Peace, the eagle, Skaji'ena Negukuwane, is the leader of all the winged animals. And so also you'll notice in the clasp of the eagle, 13 arrows, one representing each colony, 13 councils of fire. And so the contributions to the Constitution, as the Haudenosaunee had explained to these Europeans, is still there today. Now in 2010, they minted a coin, $1, and on the back of that dollar is this Gainesagona belt with 5 arrows, honoring the contributions of the Haudenosaunee to the Constitution. And so this unity that we have today, this gathering that we have today and paddling down the river that flows both ways, is a powerful message to the rest of the world that we're still here and we ain't going anywheres. Our elders used to not share this information with our neighbors, and found it to be of no value to keep it to ourselves. For you people, it became no value because you're making policies on top of policies that are causing nothing but hardships. And so our elders had spoke out and said that it's time that we share our oral teachings again with them, because they haven't been listening very well. And so the word is coming out. And so this paddle down, like it was mentioned, we brought this fresh spring water from Onondaga, and we shared some with the United Nations when we were over there yesterday. We're going to share some today with the Hudson River, and Hickory and his paddling team are going to take it to the ocean to reconnect all the waterways with Onondaga to help spread the message of the unity of all the minds that helped get it here, and the importance of pure water for everybody across the seas. So the journey isn't over yet. The journey is just beginning for the next 400 years, and it's our responsibilities as individuals to carry this message on to our next generations. You're not going to find it in no pamphlets, and if you do, it's going to be shorter yet than what you're getting today with the information that we're sharing here. And so we encourage you to pay attention to your surroundings, and also always understand where your water comes from, how you use it, and what you add to it before you're done with it and where it goes. Because downstream, someone else is going to be using it or maybe paddling in it. So be careful with what you do and help keep this water pristine, and stand up for what's right. Because I know you guys are all here with a good mind. We can understand that, we can feel it. And so knowing that, you guys are on the right fight for pure, pristine water and taking care of Mother Earth, so you're on the right side of the fight. We appreciate the support and the help of bringing this message out with our wampums, because this is not just Onondaga or Haudenosaunee wampum. This treaty was made with your people, and it carries on. And so we look forward to making sure that Mother Earth is protected for the next 7 generations to come, and it's our responsibility to do so. Taneto.
Thank you, Chief. This next person, I'm going to announce, okay, well, what do you need from us? And we told her what we needed, and she said, okay, let me try to execute it and be the liaison to have the bigger picture. It's very rare of this for a nonprofit to work so greatly with and collaborate with artists, and she's one of my biggest collaborators. We've been collaborating with each other for 7 years now. And I would like to announce Tanya Ganella Fishner, Esquire. She's also the president of American Indian Law Alliance. She is the former regional representative of North America for the Indigenous Forum on Indigenous Issues. And she is from the Onondaga Nation. I would like to introduce you, Tanya Ganella Fishner.
Nyoe Haskanu. Governments need to do more to strengthen and honor treaties between Indigenous peoples and governments. No matter how long ago they were signed. And I'm quoting somebody. Even that's my position, that's where I stand. I'm quoting somebody. The High Commissioner for Human Rights under the Human Rights Council of the United Nations. She made this statement this past Wednesday, August 7th, and I think we would all agree that governments need to do more to strengthen and honor treaties between Indigenous peoples. Jake said earlier that the Turo was an agreement between 2 nations. And as Chief Warren Lyons always says, you can't make a treaty with yourself. You can only make an agreement, a covenant, a treaty between 2 sovereign entities. And our people have honored that for over 1,000 years. And we do it every day. We do it on a contemporary level. And when our lacrosse team was mentioned to you earlier, I thought, oh, I want to talk about our lacrosse team. The Haudenosaunee Iroquois Nationals lacrosse team. That lacrosse team is an expression of the sovereignty of the Haudenosaunee. We are number 4 in the world in field lacrosse. Number 4 in the world. We are number 3 in indoor lacrosse, box lacrosse, number 3 in the world. And our young men, our under 19 team, well, they're number 2 in the world. Over 25 years ago, when our leaders had this vision to bring forward this lacrosse team to compete on an international level with all the nations of the world, was a major accomplishment for our people. And it is an expression of our sovereignty. We play on an equal playing field with the United States, with England, Australia, Canada, and Japan, because we are part of the highest division in lacrosse, which is the blue division. We travel on our own Haudenosaunee passports. It makes no sense if you're competing on a field with the United States to be carrying a United States passport if you're playing as a nation. So the flag that we fly as the Parade of Nations comes in is that flag right over there, the Haudenosaunee flag. So the expression of sovereignty is contemporary, it's now, and it has not changed. So let's go out and remind governments that they need to honor, they need to strengthen their treaties, their agreements with Indian peoples and nations, no matter how long ago they were signed. Danita.
There aren't many role models young comedians have for really in the industry. And I had my family, but the first time I saw Charlie Hill he was on the Tonight Show. And I remember it was on the black and white TV in my house, and one of the things that we all said as soon as he came on was, "There's an Indian on television." And so everybody came and we called people up and everything. And one of the things that happened is that I was in the 2nd grade and I memorized his act. And I did it for talent show, but I kind of got suspended afterwards because they didn't really get it. And so afterwards I decided that when I saw him with all the things that I've seen my family do and all the theatrical, that I knew I wanted to do comedy. And without further ado, I would really like to introduce Charlie Hill, who's our Richard Pryor. And there's one joke that I love that I'll always want to say. I can't wait to win the Academy Award, so I don't accept it because of the bad treatment of Marlon Brando. Charlie Hill!
Thank you. How about a hand for everybody here this evening, this afternoon? And the paddlers, where are they? Give them a big hand for paddling here. And all those boats out there, I bet you white folks are getting homesick, huh? Well, it's nice to be here. Reservation blues. I traded my moccasins for those white man shoes. I got my feet stuck in 2 canoes. Reservation blues. My family back home on the rest. Been gone so long, I don't know who I is. But when I feel blue, that's all I can do. Reservation blues. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember, for the next 60 seconds, this is only a test.
Hello, everyone. fun, a lot of organization here. So thank you very much for coming to the event here. We're very thankful to be here at the acknowledgement of 400 years of the Two-Row Wampum Treaty that we have amongst our Haudenosaunee people and the rest of the world. So we're very happy to be here. My name is Sherry Waterman Hopper, and we are part of the Haudenosaunee Singers and Dancers. We have a small group here today to share with you some of our songs and dances. We're just going to give you a small sampling of what our dances are like for just a few moments here. And then right around 4 o'clock, we're going to have a social from 4 to 5. We're going to have a social, and we're going to be dancing right down in front. So we hope you'll stick around because we want you to come in and join in with us. So our first dance that we're going to share with you is a welcome dance. This is to welcome everybody here to New York City and to this celebration and acknowledgement of the 400 years of the Two-Row Wampum Treaty.
I walked about 100 miles. I walked from Madison
sampling of our welcome to you and through song and dance. How did you like that? I didn't hear you. All right, that's getting a little bit better here. Okay, our next dance that we're going to share with you, we only have a couple minutes up here, and one of the all-time favorites is a smoke dance. Smoke dance is a dance that's not part of our regular social dancing within our longhouses. It has become a dance that we do in public settings. It's become very popular in the competition circuit of powwows and at festivals. There's actual smoke dance competitions. So the idea here is that our singers will sing a song or a couple songs for our guys, and the dancers need to start with the start of the song, middle of the song. There's a certain change in the beat, drum beat, that gives dancers a clue or indication. We call that jumps, gives us an indication to do something a little different during that time. And then, of course, they need to end with the very last beat. So that's what judges look for when they're in competition. And the dancers themselves like to just compete amongst each other. So what I'm going to do is have our dancers, our male dancers, come and share their version. And this, by the way, originated as an all-male dance years and years ago. It used to be, back in the day when we were at war with one another, we had dances that were called war dances. We don't have those dances that we call war dances anymore because we're not at war anymore with one another. But they have been, over the years, changed and evolved into a set of songs and dances called these smoke dances. And again, it's a challenge type of dance, very individualized. So it's up to the dancers on how they're going to dance and how much space they're going to use and what kind of movements they're going to use. So we'll have our guys share their version first, and I'll have our singers sing a slow-paced war dance song for them, because that's where it originated from. And a lot of posture and movements, the movements are different, what you need to do during this time. And then, of course, our singers will sing the more contemporary versions of these dances, which have become smoke dances. So we'll have our guys share their version, then we'll have our ladies, Wenhio and myself, share our version as well.
Hey,
please share our version. About 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock, we'll do some more. I'll give you an opportunity to come in and join in with us. Every dance, we expect you to come in and join in with us. We're inviting you now, and come back at 4. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you in a little bit.
I just want to sit here and hang out with you. This is the most fun we had since we went to Fredericks. All right, we'll leave it there. One of my favorite persons, one of my favorite human beings, one of my favorite performers. And you're going to love her if you've never seen her before, and if you've seen her, you already do love her. So put a warm New York welcome for the music of Pudafe.
Now, can I have more and the guitar and the monitor? Thank you. Okay. Here we go.
Hey! Oh my God! Hey, Babette! I wasn't gonna miss a chance to see my sister. That's for sure.
Roots run deep the soul, Mother Earth, protecting people, their sacred bird. Not as first, but where you belong, where many old spirits dance a song. Piece of paper, a devil's lie. For this you have my paper life. To return our land, our mother lives to the earth, the sky will pay the price. To the earth, the sky, her soul will rise. So these old traditions have years to grow. You have no spirit, no faith, no God. You are the death and grave you love. Piece of paper, a devil's lie. For this you let my baby die. To return our land, our lives, and the earth, the sky will pay the price. To the earth, the sky, our soul will rise. Thank you. I have time for one more, and this is a canoe song. So I'm doing a whole album of canoe songs, and I like to paddle in North Carolina, which is where my family's from. And so I joined the journey here with the two-row Wampum Renewal campaign paddlers. And I'm going to miss you all you paddlers out there. This song is for you. Oh, oh, oh,
I'm going to start with a thank you song, because I'm grateful to be here. sa dunia ni. Nyawa ko, nyawa ko, nyawa ko. She travels through the course of time, the space between our conscious minds. A journey through the cosmos. She travels through the course of time, the space between our conscious minds. And she dropped the tears that used to never fall. Took a journey through her fears, handcuffed to the wall. Another lost cause, the last life. Toss and turn all night. Sleep was way escape from her mind. How many times does it take before we get it right? Like